Now that we've had a look at some of the basic filming techniques, we're going to move on to have a look at some of the more advanced filming techniques, which will include a slider shot, a jib shot, an orb shot and a dynamic walking shot. So first up, let's have a look at the slider shot. Okay, so the first shot we're going to look at in this advanced filming techniques video is the slider shot. And by slider shot we mean where we slide from left to right in a straight line. So as opposed to panning where we are rotating, we're actually staying straight and the camera is going along an imaginary straight line like so. So where you might want to use this shot, there's a couple of places. One is for a reveal shot, which is where we have something in the foreground that we slide past to reveal whatever's in the background. So it could be a kitchen top like this, reveal a living space behind it. It also works quite well when you're sliding from behind a wall to then reveal a room. So that works quite well. And it also works quite well for more detailed shots, so slightly closer up shots of finishing, so going along the end of the bed, where you're looking at the bed head and the pillows, bathrooms where you've got some fixtures and fittings, taps and sinks and those sorts of things, so more detailed sort of shots. So there's a couple of techniques of doing this. The first technique we're going to look at is the lean motion, which is where we start on the left. I've got my weight on my left foot. I'm going to press record and keep the camera in a straight line, and I'm now transferring my weight across to my right foot in a leaning motion. So when you're doing this lean technique, you want to stay in tilt locked mode so that we remove any vertical movement. So I'm just going to do that shot again. We start in our position. When we're ready, we're in tilt lock, press record and lean across in a nice straight line. So the second technique is similar but just a little bit different. As opposed to doing the lean motion from left to right, we can actually do a bit more of a sort of crab walk, so we can cover a little bit more distance, and some people find this a bit easier. So again, we're going to tilt locked, we frame our shot, press record, and now I'm actually doing a little bit of a walk this way. But it's the same principle. My camera is being kept in a straight line, like so. Whichever technique you find easiest, have a try at the lean. If not, have a try at the walking technique. So the next shot we're going to have a look at is the jib shot, which is a vertical type of shot, but as opposed to a vertical pan where we're in follow mode, where the camera follows us panning up and down as we move. In this case, the camera stays locked straight. So we're in tilt lock mode, which means the camera locks straight. We don't have any vertical movement like that. And the motion for this is a simple up-down motion. And a bit like a slider where we reveal something in front of us. In this case, we start low and reveal what's upwards. So you can either start at the top and come down, or start at the bottom and go up. So we go into tilt lock mode. I'm in tilt locked. We press record, we frame our shot, and we slowly come down in a nice squat motion. A bit like a rocket coming down to land, just straight up. I find it easier to come down, so I'm going to do that again. Down we come, nice and straight, down into our squat position. Nice reveal shot. So quite a simple shot to do, but quite effective. The next shot we're going to have a look at is the orb shot. And an orb shot is effectively where we rotate around an object. So we have something in front of us that's stationary, we keep it in the center of the frame, and we move around the object. So it works quite well for feature pieces, so if you have a low-hanging chandelier or feature light, things like that, or sculptures or things like that that you can move yourself around, it's quite a nice cinematic effect. So the technique for this, as I said, is to keep the object in the middle of the frame and you move around the object. So keep the camera in front of you, no panning to the left or right, and we move around it. So I don't have anything in this particular property that works that well, but I'll just, for the purpose of the example, go around this table so that you can see the technique. So I'm going to be in tilt lock mode. The camera follows where I'm pointing. I'm going to frame my shot. When I'm ready, I hit start recording and I start moving around the table. Camera's in front of me. I'm moving around the camera. Table in the middle of the frame. And round we go. I come back the other way. That's all in the middle of the frame. Camera's in front of me. I'm walking around the camera. And we get a nice rotating shot. So that's your orb shot. Okay, so the last shot we're going to cover in this video is the dynamic walking shot. So this is slightly different to the forwards walking shot that we looked at in the basic filming techniques, where we were just walking in a straight line into a room through a space. In this example, we're actually going to be walking through a room or into a space and then doing a turn at the end. So it's got a bit more movement, it's a longer shot. Where we use this is in videos where we use an effect called a speed ramp, and a speed ramp is where we walk in normal pace as the music's going, and then when we get to the turn, we'd normally quicken the shot up, speed it up as we make the turn, normally timed to the beat of the music. So it makes quite a cool kind of fast pace motion shot. So the technique for this is a bit like a walking shot. So we're going to keep the camera in front of us, we're going to be in tilt lock mode, we're going to move around the camera, walk straight, and then we're going to complete a turn when we get to the end. So it should look a little like this. Okay, I'm already in tilt locked, we hit record, start our motion, walking normally, normal pace, and now I'm making my turn all the way around. Keep the motion going, I'm not panning or stopping, and I continue further if I really wanted to. So that's the dynamic walking shot.